Okay, let's start with the problems. Question number 25. So according to question number 25, true value of dip at a place is 45 degrees. The plane of the dip circle is turned through 60 degrees from the magnetic meridian. Find apparent value of dip. So true value of dip, so I is given to us as 45 degrees. So basically the plane of the dip circle is turned through 60 degrees. So it is something like this, we can imagine. So basically this was a true magnetic meridian, let's say. And now it is turned through 60 degrees. Something like this. The angle between the two planes is 60 degrees. This is 60 degrees. Okay. So basically if you see over here, the vertical component is remaining same. It behaves like the axis, but the horizontal component is changing. So originally the horizontal component was over here. Now the horizontal component is over here. So if I consider this horizontal component as BH, this I can say to be BH dash, which will be BH cos of 60, because we are just turning BH through an angle of 60. So this is going to be BH dash, just the notation, which will be BH cos of 60. So tan of I, if I write the formula, it is given by BV upon BH, that is tan of 45 will be equal to BV upon BH. Let's name this as 1. We do not know BV, we do not know BH. Now we are turning this plane through an angle of 60. So let's say the apparent value of angle of dip is I dash, which we need to find out, will be BV. BV will remain same because that is the axis of rotation, into BH dash, which I have said as BV upon BH dash. I have said as BV cos of 60. But we know that BV upon BH is tan of 45. So I'll substitute over here tan of 45 divided by cos of 60. So if I substitute, tan of 45 is 1, this is going to be half, so it is going to be 2. So tan of I dash is 2, so from here I dash will be equal to tan inverse of 2, which will be equal to 63.4. That is going to be the value of apparent angle of dip. Moving on to question number 26. A compass needle of dipole moment 40 ampere meter square. So dipole moment is given to us as 40 ampere meter square, pointing geographical north at a certain place where horizontal component of Earth's field is 30 micro Tesla, 10 raised to minus 6 Tesla, experiences a torque of 0.6 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton meter. Calculate the declination at a place. So basically at that certain place, this needle is pointing towards geographical north. So we can consider it to be in the geographical meridian. But a torque acts on it, then obviously it is going to arrange itself according to the Earth's magnetism, and then it is going to come into magnetic meridian. So basically, supposing originally it was in the geographic meridian, now it is going to turn itself and enter into the magnetic meridian. It is going to enter into the magnetic meridian. Okay, torque is going to act on it, and it is going to maybe turn maybe like this in the magnetic meridian. So now the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is given to us over here. The torque is given, magnetic moment is given. We need to find out the angle of declination. So basically the angle of declination over here is going to be the angle between the magnetic moment, because originally it was like this, because magnetic moment vector is lying in the geographical meridian, and magnetic field, the angle between magnetic meridian and the angle between the magnetic dipole moment and the magnetic field, because now it is lying according to the magnetic field, something like this. This is magnetic field, and originally it was magnetic moment which was in the geographic meridian. So the angle between the magnetic moment and the magnetic field will be same as the angle of declination, that is the angle between the two planes, because magnetic moment is lying in one plane and magnetic field is lying in another plane. So the angle between these two vectors is going to be the angle between the two planes. So I can use the formula tau is equal to mb sine of theta, where theta is going to be the angle of declination. So tau upon mb will be sine of theta. So tau is given to us 0.6 into 10 raised to minus 3. M is 40. B is the horizontal component, that is 30 into 10 raised to minus 6, which will be equal to sine of theta. So from here we will get theta. So this answer will come to 0.5, which will be equal to sine of theta. So theta from here will be equal to 30 degrees. Question number 27. A magnetic needle of length 8 cm, that is the length of the dipole, is given to us as 8 cm, that is equal to 0.08 meter. Suspended at its midpoint through a thread, stays at an angle of 37 degrees with the horizontal. So it is suspended something like this, maybe from a fixed support, and this is going to be your horizontal component at this point. This is going to be your vertical component, and this is going to be your total magnetic field. This is your BH, PV and B. So it is making an angle of 37 degrees. So angle of dip is given to us as 37 degrees over here, with the horizontal component, that is 24 microtesla into 10 raised to minus 6. We need to find out a vertical component. So here you can use 10 of I, which is equal to BV upon BH. Okay, so BV will be equal to 10 of I, that is 10 of 37 multiplied by BH is given, so 24 into 10 raised to minus 6. So from here you will get BV as 18 microtesla, that is 18 into 10 raised to minus 6. Next, if the pole strength of the needle is 2 ampere meter, so 2 ampere meter is the pole strength given, what vertical force should be applied to an end so as to keep it in the horizontal direction? So if I want to keep this needle in the horizontal direction like this, along the horizontal direction, something like this, then how much force has to be applied? So now obviously the torque is acting on this needle over here. There is equal and opposite force acting. The total force acting over here is 0, that we know. Okay, so that is why this needle is acted upon a torque. It acts as a couple, and that is why it is taken down. So if you want to take it on top to the horizontal position, obviously the same amount of force, if the force of F is applied over here, the same amount of force has to be applied over here, F, okay, to take it on top towards in the horizontal direction. So this force can be used or found out using the torque formula, because torque is equal to force multiplied by perpendicular distance. So force will be equal to torque upon perpendicular distance. So now torque is not known to us. So first we'll have to find out the torque. So torque will be equal to mb sine of theta. Again, the magnetic moment is not given to us, so we can use hypothetical models. So Qm into 2L, that is the pole strength multiplied by the dipole length, is going to give us the magnetic moment, into B into sine of theta we can use. So Qm is told to us as 2, length, dipole length is given to us as 8 centimeter, that is 0.08 meters, into B is okay, B is also not known to us, into sine of theta. So B also we need to find out over here. So B will be the total magnetic field. How will we find out? Using vector addition. So BV square plus BH square. Just add the squares of the component and take a root of it. So it is going to be 24 square, micro, I'll just keep as it is outside, plus 18 square. So this will come out to be 30 micro Tesla. Okay, so same thing I'll substitute here. So 2 into 0.08 into B will be 30 into 10 raised to minus 6 into sine of angle. So angle between M and B. Okay, so basically your magnetic moment would be pointing like this, in this direction, horizontal direction, once it comes on top, and the magnetic field is over here. So angle between them is nothing but angle of dip, 37. So theta would be 37. It is angle between magnetic field and magnetic dipole moment. So here you will get the answer, torque as 2.88 into 10 raised to minus 6 Newton meter. So you can use this torque over here. Perpendicular distance would be the total length. The total length is given as 0.08. So half of it would be 0.04. 0.08 divided by 2 will be the perpendicular distance, to take it about the axis. So force would be 2.88 into 10 raised to minus 6 divided by perpendicular distance will be 0.04. So that would give you the answer 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 Newton is going to be the force. So the 28th question, a magnet of dipole moment 2.5 ampere meter square. So M is given to us as 2.5 ampere meter square, weighs 66 grams. So mass is given to us. So this I'll put as a vector quantity, magnetic moment. Okay, so M is given to us as 66 grams, which will be 66 upon 1000 kgs. We need to convert it. Okay, if the density of the material of the magnet is 7500 kgs per meter cube, find the intensity of magnetization. So now we know intensity of magnetization formula is net dipole moment per unit volume. This is the formula, correct? Magnetization, intensity of magnetization is given as the total dipole moment per unit volume. How much is the dipole moment generated in a unit volume? This is intensity of magnetization. So for this reason, first we need to find out the volume. So density is equal to mass upon volume. So volume will be equal to mass upon density. Okay, so mass we will substitute 66 upon 1000 into density we will substitute 7500, because it is given in terms of kgs. I converted it in terms of kgs. So volume you will get as 8.8 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter cube. So now intensity of magnetization from here would be net magnetic dipole moment divided by volume, per unit volume. Okay, so that is given to us as 2.5 divided by 8.8 into 10 raised to minus 6. This is going to be equal to 2.84 into 10 raised to 5 ampere per meter. This is going to be your intensity of magnetization. Question number 29. A magnetizing field of 1600 ampere per meter. So H is given to us. So basically if you see, magnetizing field is basically intensity of magnetic field. Okay, so 1600 ampere meter, that we come to know depending upon the unit over here, because the terminology may vary from person to person or from book to book. Okay, so that is why units are very important. Okay, magnetizing field is actually the field which magnetizes the magnetic material. That is what we had learned, okay, using textbook definition. But here that according to that the unit should have been Tesla, but here the unit is given as ampere per meter. That means what they have given us is intensity of magnetic field and not the magnetizing field in reality. Okay, so this is magnetizing field, which is 1600 ampere per meter, produces a magnetic flux. Okay, so magnetic flux is produced, that is 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 5 Weber in a bar of iron of cross section 0.2 centimeter square, which will be 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. Calculate the permeability and susceptibility of the bar. We have to find out the permeability of the bar, that is mu, and we have to find out the susceptibility of the bar, that is psi. Okay, this is what we need to find out. Okay, so we know mu naught value also, that we will also write down over here, that is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Tesla per ampere into meter. Okay, so now to find out mu, first we need to know the magnetic induction, that is B. So we can use the formula for magnetic flux. I can use the formula for magnetic flux, that is given by B dot A, which is going to be BA cos of theta. Okay, and cos of theta over here, theta is going to be 0 because magnetic field and area vector are going to be pointing in the same direction. So cos of 0 will be 1 over here, so it is going to be BA. So flux is known to us, that is 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 5. B we do not know, area we know, that is 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 4. So from here we can say that B will be equal to 1.2 Tesla. This is going to come to 1.2 Tesla. Okay, so now we are also given H. So we know that the formula for mu, that is permeability, is B upon H. That is magnetic induction, the ratio of magnetic induction to the intensity of magnetic field or magnetic field intensity. Okay, so using this formula I can say that mu will be equal to, here only I'll write down, B upon H. It will be 1.2 divided by H is given as 1600. So from here you will get your mu, that is 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla meter per ampere. This is going to be the value of mu. Next we need to find out the susceptibility over here. So let's find out the susceptibility now. So you can use the formula mu is equal to mu naught into 1 plus psi m. This is going to be the formula. So mu is going to be equal to whatever you have found out just now, that is 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 4. Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into 1 plus psi m. So once you solve this, you'll get the answer as psi m, which will be equal to 596. This is going to be the value of susceptibility, that is psi m, magnetic susceptibility. Okay, so this is going to be the solution of 29th question. Question number 30. The maximum value of permeability of a metal is 0.126 Tesla meter per ampere. Find maximum relative permeability and susceptibility. So permeability of the metal is given to us, that is 0.126 Tesla meter per ampere. We need to find out the maximum relative permeability, mu r, has to be found out, and susceptibility has to be found out. So what is the formula for relative permeability? It is given by the permeability of material divided by permeability of vacuum. Okay, that is going to be 0.126 divided by permeability of vacuum is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. So it's going to be 1 into 10 raised to 5. It is not going to have any units because it is the ratio. Okay, and then we need to find out the susceptibility. So we also know that mu r is going to be equal to 1 plus psi m. So from here psi m is going to be mu r minus 1, that is going to be equal to 10 raised to 5 minus 1, which will be equal to 9999. Question number 31. An iron rod of 0.2 centimeter cross section and susceptibility of 599 is subjected to magnetizing field of 1200 ampere per meter. So here also H is given to us 1200 ampere per meter. Find permeability and magnetic flux. This need to be found out. Okay, so first let us find out permeability. To find out permeability, we are going to use mu is equal to mu naught into mu r. That formula we can use. This formula we can use, mu r is equal to mu upon mu naught. So mu will be equal to mu r into mu naught. So mu naught is known to us, mu r is not known. So mu r you can find out first using susceptibility. So mu r is going to be 1 plus psi. So 1 plus 599, that is 600, is going to be mu r. So this mu r you can use over here. So mu will be equal to mu r into mu naught, that is 600 multiplied by 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. That is going to come to 7.53 or 7.54, 739 into 10 raised to minus 4 is going to be your permeability of that particular material. Next we need to find out flux. So flux will be B dot A. Flux will be B dot A. So A is known, B is not known. We are given H. So using H and mu you can find out B. So basically the formula is H is equal or B is equal to mu into H. So this formula you can use. So mu is 7.539 into 10 raised to minus 4 into H. H is given as 1200. Okay, so here you can find out B. It will come to 0.904 Tesla. And now finally you can find out flux, that is B dot A. Again theta will be 0. So 0.904 multiplied by A will be 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 4. It will be equal to 1.81 into 10 raised to minus 5 vapor. This is going to be your flux. Question number 32. A tightly wound long solenoid having 4000 turns per meter. The small n is given to us 4000 turns per meter. Carries a current of 2 ampere. I is equal to 2 ampere. Find the magnetic intensity and magnetic field at the center. Okay, so we need to find out the magnetic intensity and magnetic field at the center. So first let's find out that and let's move on to the next part. So B naught, that is the magnetic field at the center of the solenoid, is given by mu naught Ni. This is the formula which we also learned in the fourth chapter, which will be equal to mu naught will be 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. N is given as 4000 into current is 2. So you will get B naught as 10.05 into 10 raised to minus 3 Tesla. Next we need to find out the magnetic intensity, that is H. So H, or rather B, will be given as mu naught into H. This is the formula we know. So from here we can say that H will be equal to B upon mu naught. Okay, so B we have already got over here, or B naught rather. So B we have already got over here. It is 10.05. Since there is nothing inside that solenoid, the total magnetic field will be 10.05 into 10 raised to minus 3 Tesla upon mu naught will be 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. So as good as removing this part. Okay, so it is going to be 4000 into 2, that is 8000 ampere per meter is going to be your magnetic field intensity. Now, in the second part, now an iron core is inserted and magnetization in the core is 4 into 10 raised to 6 ampere per meter. Okay, so now when core is inserted, magnetization is given to us, that is equal to 4 into 10 raised to 6 ampere per meter. Find the magnetic field at the center. So we'll have to find out the magnetic field due to magnetization now. Okay, so that is going to be magnetization, magnetic field is going to be mu naught into M. This is the formula we have. So 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into M is given as 4 into 10 raised to 6 ampere per meter. Okay, no need to put the unit here. Okay, so this answer you will get as equal to 5.03 Tesla. So total magnetic induction over here, the magnetic field, the total magnetic field will be the magnetic field, the magnetizing field, that is B naught, plus the field due to magnetization. Add them together. It is going to be 10.05 into 10 raised to minus 3, okay, which will be very small, plus 5.03, so it will be approximately 5.03 Tesla, because this is going to be 0.00, this is going to be 0.01, okay, which will be very small, so that is going to be approximately equal to 5.03 Tesla. Question number 33. Find the percentage increase in magnetic field when space within the current carrying solenoid is filled with a substance of susceptibility 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5. This much susceptibility material is filled in the solenoid. So percentage increase in magnetic field will be equal to the original the magnetic field, the final magnetic field, minus the original magnetic field when nothing is inserted or in the absence of material, divided by the magnetic field in the absence of material multiplied by 100. This is going to give us the percentage increase in the magnetic field, because obviously when you insert a magnetic material inside as a core of a solenoid, the magnetic field is going to increase there. Okay, so that percentage increase we need to find out. So to get this answer, we have to get this entire thing, that is B minus B naught upon B naught, in terms of psi, in terms of or phi. Okay, that is basically this symbol 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5, susceptibility. So first let us find out B naught. So B naught we know as mu naught into H, that is permeability in free space multiplied by the magnetic field intensity. Okay, this is in the absence of substance. Okay, in absence of substance. Okay, In the presence of substance, okay, so B will be equal to mu into H, correct, where mu is going to be mu naught into mu R, that is permeability of free space multiplied by the relative permeability. This is the formula we have. When you have a material inside, this B naught will become the total magnetic field over here, and mu will become the permeability of that substance. Okay, so from another formula for mu that we have is mu naught. I can substitute mu R in terms of susceptibility as 1 plus psi m, because mu R is 1 plus psi m. So I can substitute it over here in place of mu R. Okay, and if I substitute this mu over here in this formula, what will B become? B will be equal to mu naught into 1 plus psi m into H. So what I will do is, I'll substitute this 1 and 2 in this equation star. So percentage increase will become percentage increase in magnetic field will be B minus B naught upon B naught. So mu naught into H into 1 plus psi m minus B naught is mu naught into H divided by mu naught into H multiplied by 100. Open this up. So mu naught into H minus mu naught into H into psi m minus mu naught into H divided by mu naught into H multiplied by 100. So this is going to cancel out. This is going to be plus, sorry. Okay, so here also mu naught H is going to cancel out. After this cancels out, so it is going to be psi m multiplied by 100, and psi m value is given to us as 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 multiplied by this 100. So the final answer you will get over here is 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 is going to be the percentage increase in magnetic field. Last question, question number 34. A solenoid has a core of relative permeability 200. So mu R is given as 200. The winding of solenoid are insulated from core and carry a current of 2 ampere. So I is given as 2 ampere. If the number of turns in is 100 per 1000 per meter, so N is given as 1000. Find the magnetizing field, basically magnetizing field intensity. Okay, so magnetizing field intensity is given by H is equal to the ampere turns, N into I, number of ampere turns. Okay, that is going to be 1000 into current is 2, that is going to be 2000 ampere per meter. This is going to be magnetizing field intensity. Second one is magnetization and field inside the solenoid. So first we'll find out field inside the solenoid. So B is equal to mu naught into H, this is the formula. So 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into H is given to us, no, H we just now found out, 2000. So this will come to 8 pi into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. So this is the field inside the solenoid. And last we need to find out over here is magnetization. So magnetization formula is psi into H, but psi is not known, but mu R is given to us, so we can find out, because mu R is equal to 1 plus psi. So psi will be equal to mu R minus 1, that is 200 minus 1, that is 199. So you can substitute it over here. 199 into H is 2000. Okay, so that is going to come to 3.98 into 10 raised to 5 ampere per meter. This is going to be the solution.